News Radio 680 WPTF. Hi there, my name is Scott Fitzgerald, and you're listening to That Cancer Show. It's a service of Cornucopia Cancer Support Center in Durham, and Mary Lawrence is with us here today. And we're doing another show about acupuncture. I learned so much last week, so I'm glad we get a chance to do it again this week.
Me too. Yeah. It's a great topic.
It really is. And if you missed last week's show, you can go to the Cornucopia website, which is cancersupportforyou.org. That's where you get the podcasts as well as a bunch of other information. Just click on That Cancer Show. It's a tab at the top of the page.
And so we're happy to welcome back our guest. David Peters is a licensed acupuncturist and co-founder of Long Life Wellness Center in Cary. He's also president of the North Carolina Association of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. And our other guest is Sharon Delaney McLeod of Raleigh. She is sharing her firsthand experiences with acupuncture, which helps her deal with cancer treatment side effects. Welcome back to both of you.
Thank you.
We learned so much last Sunday, and there's so much more we want to know, and are just so glad that you're here with us. I wanted to just start, Sharon, with you. Our listeners, many are either cancer patients, survivors, or have a family member or loved one going through the cancer journey. And so they're pretty familiar with all the different side effects of chemo. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the side effects that led you to get acupuncture?
Sure. Shortly after I was diagnosed, I had to start chemotherapy immediately. And I had heard, you hear about all the different sorts of side effects. I was expecting them to happen, and they did. And one of them, because of my protocol, sent me into immediate menopause, which that brought on extreme hot flashes, which then disrupted my sleep pattern, which then disrupted my mood, and just, when you are lacking sleep, you're just not in your right mind.
No, your foundation gets rattled.
You're just rocked. And so my oncologist suggested, would you ever consider doing acupuncture? Because there are studies that show that acupuncture is as effective or more effective than other kinds of treatments for hot flashes. And I said, well, I am already a fan of acupuncture. I had been to David Peters years before for a number of different reasons. It always worked. And I said, of course I'll try it. And good Lord, it worked beautifully. It not only got rid of, or it reduced the hot flashes so much that I can get a good night's rest. But what it also did is it fixed my digestion issues. A lot of times chemotherapy drugs can mess up your GI system really badly. And it helped me get that back into sort of a more normal pattern. And then the neuropathy that I was starting to feel, which a lot of cancer patients after the fact still have neuropathy years later. Well, guess what, folks? There's a solution for that.
Wow.
The neuropathy completely disappeared. After I told David what the issues were, within 2 weeks, no more neuropathy.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Anything else complementary? Any other sort of treatments that you might have added to the mix?
Well, I'll tell you, part of the acupuncture session, I also feel sometimes that David is also my therapist. He's communicating with you a lot. Before the first needle goes in, there's a good conversation that goes on. Not just about how physically I'm doing, but how my mind is doing. Because whole, mind, body, it's all connected. Yes. And so once that conversation happens and David decides where we're going to put the needles that week, there is 30 minutes, is it about 30 minutes of quiet? The room is dark and this beautiful, relaxing music, all in an effort to quiet your system.
Right.
And to, whether it's go into meditation or for some cases I would take a nap. Either way, it was a time to slow down, which in my crazy busy life and in many people's busy lives, that's tough to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had to work full time through my treatments. And so getting that one visit a week where I could take a little la-la, which is a little nap, or just to be quiet. Was amazing. So I think almost that meditation is a complementary therapy that is part of acupuncture.
Wow.
You're mentioning your mind and your body, and that's what Cornucopia is all about, is our founders realized that your mind, your body, and your spirit all are uniquely connected and can make a big difference in, if you can recognize and understand those connections, can make a big difference in how you cope with a diagnosis of cancer.
Well, there's the old alchemist and what they used to say, as above, so below.
Yes.
And the above part, I believe, would be your brain, and below would be your body.
Yes.
So, yeah, indeed.
Wow. So, David, in order to get Sharon to feeling as great as she did, you're a licensed acupuncturist. What was your training like? What does that involve?
Well, there's a minimum standard of training in North Carolina, and it involves a 3-year program, 1,800 clock hours, 900 of didactic and theoretical training. It includes anatomy and physiology, Western diagnosis, pathology, biomedicine, as well as all the Eastern medical diagnosis, pathology, and treatment. There's 650 hours of supervised clinic. A minimum of 400 hours are actual treatments. The program must be approved by the National Accreditation Commission of Schools and Colleges of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. We have to submit proof of the national exam, which is the National Certification Commission for Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. We also have to submit proof of successful completion of the clean needle technique offered by the Council of Colleges of Acupuncture and Oriental Medicine. We also have to be of good moral character and not currently engaged in prohibited behavior set by the NCALB, the North Carolina Acupuncture Licensing Board. So those are all minimums.
Minimums. So why do I have a feeling you went above and beyond?
I am a forever student.
Uh-huh.
I am always, always, always learning. It's so important.
Is that what that pile of flashcards is there?
Yes, absolutely.
Always learning.
Always learning.
Where
yeah.
did you get your training?
So I went to the Atlantic Institute of Oriental Medicine in Fort Lauderdale. And it's actually a 4-year program. It's a master's degree program. I came out with a master's degree in Oriental Medicine and a bachelor's degree in health science.
Wow.
Yeah, and I was had been really doing this medicine for about 10 years prior, really with acupressure and learning Tai Chi and Qigong and really the Taoist arts for 10 years prior to even coming into acupuncture school.
Gosh.
So you already knew the channels of energy. You just need to dig into them a little bit deeper.
Yeah, learn how to dig into them in a little different way.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about PET scans and MRIs, because they've been used in some studies to show how acupuncture activates and deactivates parts of the brain as they're being treated. What does this mean, and why is it important? About 2 minutes before the break.
It's pretty important. It tells us how acupuncture somehow, we don't know exactly how, but when we put our little stainless steel friends in the body, it activates certain intelligence of the body and the telecommunication system of the body. Now, there are certain parts of the brain that activate the parasympathetic nervous system that helps us rest and repair and digest better. And it seems to turn those on. And there are also very specific points, like there's a point, gallbladder 39, that specifically goes to the eyes. So very specifically, it lights up the ocular region of the brain and the optic nerve. So there is kind of local treatment, that can really be generalized, and then there's very specific treatment also with the acupuncture needles.
That's fascinating.
So you can actually see this on a scan while in real time.
That's right.
Wow.
It is amazing.
Wow.
You think we've got about a minute left. You think any of your patients don't tell their regular doctors that they're seeing you? Do you think there's any nervousness?
I hope not.
Okay.
There's nothing, yes, it's a poorly understood art and science to some degree. Doctors are not trained in this at all. It's not a part of their training at all. And it is in some institutions, the University of Miami, Boston Medical. Now we have Duke Integrated Medicine right here in our backyards. So yes, they're getting more exposed to it, but it needs more training.
Acupuncture. That's the subject this week on That Cancer Show. It's a service of the Cornucopia Cancer Support Center in Durham. Coming up, what should you look for in an acupuncturist? I think you heard some of it. We'll dig in a little deeper when we come back. You can learn more about Cornucopia and the oncology support services online, cancersupportforyou.org. Or you can call, write this number down, 919-401-9333. A Breaking Back on News Radio 680 WPTF.